How's it going, everybody? For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Founders Black Rye. So this is a beer that I'm extremely excited for. This is Black Rye by Founders Brewing Company, and it says it is a dry hopped dark ale brewed with rye. The specifications on this are 78 IBUs, which is decently bitter, and it says it is 7.5% alcohol by volume, which is a decent ABV as well. And the reason I'm so excited is because this is a beer that Founders had made a long time ago and has had retired for a very long time, and they've finally just pulled it back out of the vault, so to speak, as they worded it, and are re-releasing it. And I've kind of had it my mission. Founders is one of the breweries that I want to try every single beer from, and I'm ridiculously close now. Not counting the Backstage series, there's only 2 beers that I haven't had from Founders, and that's Rubaeus and KBS, of course. And so I'm just glad to get this one because this just knocks another one off the list that I get to try. But also I'm excited because I haven't had too many beers that boast a super heavy rye content, and I like the taste of rye. So I'm hoping this will be good. It was quite hard to get my hands on. I had to go through a lot of hoops and really pester the people at our local store to get it special ordered in, but we finally got some, so I'm excited. I'm going to be drinking this out of a standard Nonic pint glass. So let's get the cap off of here and see what this is like. It's got really good marks on Beer Advocate. They rated it at 90, I believe. Alright. The cap is off. Straight out, the color pours. Very dark mahogany brown. I'm going to give this a center pour here and test the waters a little bit. Seems to have a medium-high head potential. Actually, I would call that a high head potential, definitely. All right. So I poured it pretty aggressively, and it gave me about 1.5 fingers to 2 fingers of what I would call light tan colored head. The bubbles in it are very big though, and they're popping rapidly, so I imagine the head will not stick around for too terribly long. Holding this one up into the light does not yield any results. It looks to be pitch black. As far as smell goes, super heavy on the malt profile. There's a lot of spice there too. Not like a pumpkin spice or something like that. This is like true spice. Lots of malt, definitely lots of rye, lots of spice. Just a little bit of hoppiness, not too terribly much. Those are basically the 4 key components that I'm getting on the aroma. Big on the malt. It's almost to a molasses level on the malt. Not quite, but it's getting close. Huge amount of spice, a huge amount of rye, and a little faint note of hops in the smell. So let's give this one a taste and see what it's all about. Really good. Very simple, but very bold. Extremely bold in the taste. There's just very lightly sweet malts up front, and that kind of fades into a bready and rye sort of taste. And it ends on a very dry and somewhat bitter ending. Would I call it a hoppy bitter ending? I'm not sure. I don't think so. It's kind of like a rye bitter ending. So I like this a lot, actually. It's not overly complex, but it's a damn good beer nonetheless. Just to go over the development with you one more time here. Lightly sweet malts, Lots of rye, kind of a bready rye. And then that rye kind of fades into a very bitter and dry finish. It's good. I like this a lot, actually. It's medium to medium full body. It's definitely a good food pairing beer, but it's not sessionable. It's not a throwback and chug beer either. You could definitely sip on this one and savor it if you want to, and you could also pair this with food well. I think this would go really good with smoked meats, heavier foods like burgers, pizza, stuff like that, barbecue, chopped pork, chopped beef sandwiches, sausage, steak, stuff like that. That's what I think will be good with this beer. As far as a rating goes, in the style, I think this is an excellent representation of a rye beer style. I would give it about probably a 95 to a 96 out of 100 in the style. As far as my own personal score goes, I'd probably give this about a 92 out of 100. Ways that I would improve this are, really there's not a whole lot I would do to improve it besides I might accentuate either the sweetness just a bit more up front, or just make it end a little more bitter. One of the two, maybe both even. But as it stands, it is a very good representation of the rye beer style. So that has been my review of Founders Black Rye. Hope you guys enjoyed my beer review as always, and stay tuned for the next one.